dividing mixed fractions. So this time we're going to have to turn these mixed fractions into top-heavy fractions. That'll be the first step. So we've got 2 and 1 over 5 divided by 1 3/4. The easiest first step would be just to turn these mixed fractions to top-heavy fractions. So 2 and 1 over 5 becomes 11 over 5, because 2 times 5 is 10 plus the numerator is 11 divided by 7 over 4, because 4 times 1 is 4 plus the numerator is 7, so that becomes 7 over 4. 4 times 1, 7 over 4. And then the second step would then just be to multiply the fractions. Actually no, we have to keep change flip before we multiply the fractions. So we're going to keep change flip, and then we can multiply the fractions. So 11 over 5 stays the same, the divide becomes a times, and 7 over 4 becomes 4 over 7. And then the third step is to multiply the fractions. So the first step is to turn mixed fractions to the top-heavy fractions. Second step is to keep change flip, and the third step is then to multiply the fractions together. So we have 11 times 4 over 5 times 7. That's 44 over 35. We have a top-heavy fraction. Yeah, so that answer is correct. 44 over 35 is fine. But if you want to write that as a mixed fraction, then we know that 35 goes into 44 once, remainder of 9 over 35. So the last step is to simplify if possible. We can't, so we're going to leave it as a mixed fraction. So 35 goes to 44 once, there's a remainder of 9. We're still dividing by 35. And for the second example, 4 over 5 divided by 2 1/10. First step is to turn to a top-heavy fraction. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the numerator is 14, so that becomes 14 over 5. And that's 21 over 10, because 10 times 2 is 20, plus the numerator is 21, 21 over 10. We then keep change and flip, so 14 over 5 stays the same, divide becomes a times, we flip the last fraction, so it becomes 10 over 21. And then the last step is to multiply the fractions, so 14 times 10 is 140, 5 times 20 is 105. And then we need to simplify, because we've got a top-heavy fraction and quite big numbers. We know that 5 is a common factor. There is probably a highest common factor, but we'll start with 5. And that breaks it down to 28 over 21. Yeah, because 105, how many times is 5 going to 140? 3 times. I know that 5 is a common factor because both numbers end, one number ends in 0, the other ends in 5. So when we know our number facts, it makes it easier. So 28 over 21, and I know that 7 goes into both of those, so that's my next common factor. So the highest common factor would have been 35, to identify that 35 goes into both. But this is okay. So 4 over 3 is our fully simplified answer, or we can write that as a mixed fraction, and that's going to be 1 and 1 over 3.